Hello, this is Dread from Epic Builds. In today's video topic, we're going to go over 5 builds I think are going to be nerfed in the last Epoch patch, patch 8.4, which is giving us a full druid rework, including a new transformation, legendary items, and a new endgame mode dungeons. Before we get into the video, I'd suggest liking and commenting on the video, as that's the best way to support the channel currently, as well as tell YouTube I am doing a good job. So this patch, patch 8.3, included a large amount of nerfs, and if you notice when these happened, I had to put the defunct tag on a lot of my older build guides due to these nerfs. This, plus how specific and targeted the nerfs were, including the hotfix to the Shield Bash plus Judgment Aura interaction just a few days after the video was made, as well as other things like Aspect of the Shark, Crystal Swords, and nerf to things like Future Strengths. I have become more convinced that the devs are at least aware of my videos to some degree. This means now I have to think about what's going to be nerfed and prepare for it. So in this video, I will go over builds I think will be nerfed in the upcoming patch. Please note, this is not including builds that are obviously bugged, like Parasite Necromancer, or have already been announced to be nerfed, like Charge Werebear, as that will be changed when Werebear gets completely revamped in the next patch. So these will only be builds that are just too powerful in their current state and will probably be changed eventually. The first build we're going to be talking about is actually not on my channel. It is actually PerryThePig's Devouring Orb crit build, which is currently 400 plus corruption in hardcore as I say this. So Devouring Orb is normally a strong skill, lots of hits, lots of utility, especially with the Abyssal Orb spinning around you and auto-targeting enemies at range. It is definitely as close to a PoE playstyle as you possibly could get, but with a slight rework to Sentinel this patch, making most void spells scale off vitality, Devouring Orb got this too. With the insane amount of flat damage scaling vitality stacking provides, alongside with the additions to vitality on idols, it means not only do you have 4k plus health, but you also have damage scaling to insane levels. This is on top of Void Knight's already strong suite of damage percentage and extra strong echo mechanic, combined with the massive damage reduction item added this patch, Ravenous Voids, which also give 10 vitality on top of 25% flat damage reduction while being above your endurance threshold. It means this build quickly became a fan favorite of everybody this patch. This kind of build is kind of the antithesis of Ellie's goal of making a slower ARPG, and will probably get nerfed some way or another soon. Also check out PerryThePig. He makes content like me and has a knack for hardcore. The second build on this list is going to be one I just showcased on the channel, Bleed and Poison Flurry Blade Dancer. This is a build Arborus has been working on for weeks and felt like as though he wanted to have vengeance against EHG for nerfing his favorite build, Poison Lich, which is another build that is dead due to the nerfs. This build kills Arborus very quickly, and EHG has come out on multiple occasions that bosses shouldn't be trivialized, and this build does exactly that, trivialize bosses. On top of that, it's just really tanky as well. When people say Blade Dancer is the tankiest mastery in the game, they were not joking. It also has access to almost every single layer of damage mitigation in the game, including but not limited to block, dodge, insane HP recovery, loads of good sources of DR, armor, and much more. This is as close to the best boss builder we will probably see for a while, as killing Arborus under 10 seconds seems insane, as the usual metric of a good build is an under 1 minute Arborus. Some builds get to 40 seconds, 30 seconds, but 10 seconds? That's actually nuts. Play it before it gets gutted. Build guide link in the description. The third build we're going to be talking about is Flame Burst Warpath Paladin. This build surprised me insanely, as I thought cast on hit Paladin was dead due to the removal of Manifest Weapon Idols and Future Strikes giving free procs for your Divine Bolts in Vulcanus, RIP 2021, but they also buffed Flame Burst in the same patch. It went down from 8 hits to proc to 6 hits to proc, as well as they buffed Warpath significantly for this archetype, with not only a node that gives you 10% global base crit while wielding a sword, it also gives you 100% fire pen while wielding a scepter. I assume that EHG thought people would use this on melee attacks or ignite, and not on the spell like Flame Burst from Holy Aura, but dang, it is sure effective. The easiest way to nerf this build or bring it down in power is to simply nerf the amount of fire pen you get or change it to only melee attacks have fire pen, and this build will be put down a few pegs. It is currently the strongest version of Warpath until they nerf it, then Bleed will take its place back on top, hopefully. The fourth build on this list is going to be another Void Knight. Amazing, right? One is going to be Hammer Throw Smite Crit, which is nicknamed Turbo Smite for its fast and quick gameplay, while also having close to having full screen AoE. The vitality buffs mentioned earlier in the video are on display here as well, as Void Smite actually gained access to this as well thanks to a new node at the top of the Void Knight tree that swaps the attunement scaling for vitality scaling. This, in combination with chance to cast Smite on hit idols, makes this build into an absolute machine. It also scales heavily off of items like Ravenous Void, and it has even more damage on single targets due to how much damage Smite actually does. This, with all of the other benefits of being a Void Knight like Anomaly and Echoes, it leads Void Knight Smite Hammered into being close to the nerf hammer. The fifth build on this list is going to be Arborus. Again. Stop it, Arborus. Make your builds worse or something. There's going to be a whole section on this channel dedicated to you and how many things you've gotten nerfed. So this is going to be Necrotic DoT Scaling Lich. As in typical EHG fashion, we need to nerf Lich every patch. Even if it's not that strong, we still need to nerf Lich. If there are more Lich nerfs, this will be about the 5th consecutive patch cycle it's been nerfed, making it the most nerf mastery in the entire game. So after the absolutely brutal and demonic gutting of Wandering Spirits and the nerf to the infinite dot scaling of Spirit Plague, it leaves Lich with little options to break the game. But they did give us a bone. Spirit Plague now has a node that gives it +1 spell necrotic damage per point of intelligence you have. This makes it so you can make a competent Lich build again, and Arborus took this test to 400 plus 500 corruption. Now, this is nowhere near as strong as the 1000 corruption plus poison Lich was famous for, but it's still enough that there will be some changes probably in the future. Maybe EHG will nerf Lich again, like the 5th consecutive time in a row. We'll have to find out in patch 8.4 coming soon. I hope you guys have fun with these builds before they inevitably get changed, as patch 8.4 is coming December 10th, and I smell blood in the water. Overall, I think that if these get nerfed, it will be very fair, as all 5 of these builds are things that seems they don't want to be in the game, which is okay, as in the end, it is their game. I just hope it leaves room for even more broken and busted things to make in patch 8.4. With that being said, this has been Dread from Epic Builds, off to create more builds.